I guess it's like Russia as well. I mean, what cards do you have really to force these two warring parties to stop?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're losing 5,000 soldiers every single week.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome. It is June the 11th, 2025. It's 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, recording 8:55 p.m. there in Kyiv, Ukraine. Air alarms are in the eastern section of Ukraine right now. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, we have reached another place of 14 days, and I will know about Putin. To be quite honest, I was just going to ignore this because this is the 14th day after the latest statement that Donald Trump made on May the 28th. But I can't ignore it now because Ukraine and a lot of the sources and guys I follow started putting out video of an interview that was happening in English, sitting there in DC, talking about the war in Ukraine, the war potentially in Iran, multiple places, but I focused and clipped out the part about Ukraine, about drones, all of this stuff. And it was shocking what I heard, but for me, not too surprising. It's what was expected. But from the Ukrainian perspective, they're disgusted, because it's nonstop, 14 days, 14 days, 14 days. And, you know, at some point, enough is enough when your cities and your towns are being ravaged every day. When the video was sent and I started watching it, it had Ukrainian subtitles on it, and I'm looking at it, and I did not know who the interviewer was. Of course, I knew it was President Donald Trump, the one being interviewed. And I actually sent Gertis a question. I said, do you know who this is? He goes, no, I don't know who that is. And I started to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. And I did discover who it was. And this is just unbelievable what you're going to see. But we need to share this because this is the reality of the 14 days that are happening. And look, it's Miranda Devine. She's a large following there on Twitter. Journalist, wife, mother, dog lover, truth teller, at New York Post, at Fox News, laptop from hell, big guy newsletter. Now, I know nothing about her. I've never even heard of her. That's why when I saw the video, I said, where is this video even at? So I did a search on YouTube and I found this. Pod Force One with Miranda Devine. This channel is just created, has 2.4 thousand subscribers as I am recording to this. Listen, 2,400 subscribers. As of right now, the video that you're going to see, it was a 40-minute interview with President Trump, has 7,000 views. Okay, but here's what's interesting. Ukraine already had it. Now, Donald Trump has posted it on his Truth Social. This will get out and get going, but you're going to see it here first. And once again, I remind you, it's not that we did not expect Donald Trump not to do anything after 14 days, but it's disappointing in what he said and what he stated. First of all, let me play you this clip just as a reminder.
You trust President Putin? You know, in about 2 weeks.
Is Ukraine doing enough to get this?
I'd rather tell you in about 2 weeks from now.
You keep saying 2 weeks about President Putin. What is 2 weeks? Give us, what is the actual date? What is the timeline?
2 weeks or less, and if it's a little more at the time, I say, but, you know, they're losing a lot of people.
See those little dates up at the top, April 27th, May 19th. Today is May 28th. So 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Now we're still 2 weeks away.
And you see that video there actually supplied by Ukrainian Anton Gerashenko. So want to give appropriate respect to Anton for putting that out. But you can see that was on May the 28th. Well, we're now on June the 11th. It's the next 14 days. And you can see this has been going on for months and months and months. Well, now we have this sit-down interview with Pod Force One with Miranda Devine. Here's the YouTube channel right now. And it's unbelievable, in my opinion. It's just very disturbing what he says and disappointing. Here you go. You can listen for yourself.
Mistake, but we'll see. I guess time will tell.
I guess it's like Russia as well. I mean, what what cards do you have really to force these two warring parties to stop?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're losing 5,000 soldiers every single week.
But they don't care.
5,000. Well, maybe he doesn't. I mean, I'm starting to think maybe he doesn't. He's losing a lot of soldiers, and so are they. So is Ukraine. But, you know, we're going to see what happens where we make progress, and then all of a sudden something gets bombed that shouldn't be bombed, and
Yeah.
that's the end of the progress. Would like to see if we can, it doesn't affect us from the standpoint money. It's a lot of money, but I brought back $5.1 trillion from the Middle East in 4 days. So it's not the money.
Yeah.
What it is that, humanity, it's like 5,000, much more than 5,000 people a week are being killed in that war. That's a vicious war. There's not been anything like it since the Second World War.
So did Putin say what he wanted from you? What does he want?
He talked about what he wanted and talked about what he didn't want. We had a good conversation, but so far nothing's come of it.
You can see there, we've had a good conversation, but so far nothing has come of it. It's disappointing, to be honest with you. We're just getting nowhere. She even asked the questions. Kudos to her. Do you have any cards? And you didn't hear, oh yeah, we've got cards. We've got everything. No, because we don't have any cards. The one that had the cards was President Volodymyr Zelensky. And it's just unfortunate that I'm having to get this video sent to me from Ukraine, and it just bothers them, because America's supposed to be fighting for liberty and standing for what is right and truth. And this is the reality of where we're at in another 14 days, And I promise you, Vladimir Putin is watching this, and he's laughing, he's smiling. That entire Russian team there goes, yep, perfect, playing perfect. Now, why Ukraine, of course, disappointed with statements like that? Well, there's a lot of other things going on in Ukraine right now. For example, Ukrainian survey, should we accept the current offer? 82%, I'll translate it for you, absolutely are against that. We're not going to accept the current offer. 82% in the blue, categorically against it. The next survey I will share with you is right here. The question basically asks, which of these statements most likely represent you and your perspective in moving toward a peace? And in the orange there, Ukraine may give up some territories to bring this war to a conclusion. That's 38%. 52%, it is absolutely not possible to give up any territory to bring this war to an end, and the remaining percentage there declaring 10%, it's difficult to say. The reality is Ukrainians are fighting for their land and their future. And once again, this is just why when you see these statements come out of the leader of the free world, well, Putin told me what he wanted, and the bombing messes it all up, and it's a war. And cards, no, don't have any cards, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Putin likes me, though. I mean, that's really where we're at. I can also confirm to you today that Budanov, he is the head of the GUR there from Ukraine. Everybody knows Budanov. Do you remember a few days ago when Shoigu went and visited Kim Jong-un? He did. Why? Everybody was wondering. He had direct meetings with Kim Jong-un. Well, we now know. Russia has agreed with North Korea to start production of the Shahed 136 kamikaze drones. These are the Geranium 2, and the Harpy models, which will now be mass-produced at North Korean factories according to the Russian specifications. In addition, North Korean has these KN-23 ballistic missiles, which are actively used by Moscow. When they first came to Russia, they were in poor condition, inaccurate, exploding in the air, etc. But we have confirmation from Budanov that the Russians have improved their accuracy to lethal level, and that is directly from the head of GUR. So Russia can produce 2,700 imitation drones, and the same number of drones that have munitions on them. That's 5,400 drones that they can produce every month. That's inside Russia. Now they're going to ramp that up to higher numbers because North Korea will be producing as well. Also, Kursk airfield, we need to pay attention to. We've had so much good success with Operation Spiderweb, striking Russian fighter jets, Russian bombers, Russian oil depots, and everybody's going, why aren't these planes protected? Well, I can tell you that right now in Crimea, and this is images in Kursk, which is very close to the Ukrainian border, they now have built concrete barriers and hangars and bunkers to protect their planes. A lot of planes in these areas of Kursk, like a MiG-31 could be there in the air quickly, and unfortunately that MiG-31 can carry hypersonic munitions, so it is dangerous. And once again, just additional facts coming in why when we hear that type of statement coming out, 14 days, 14, 14, 14, it's disappointing to the Ukrainians, but they fight on. Finally, we're getting confirmation from Slovakia, from Fico. Slovakia will not support the 18th package of sanctions against Russia, and the news continues. We see the battle now going on between Orban and Zelensky, and we shared that yesterday in depth. That's been very accurate, and Orban responding, hey, Zelensky, back it down, back it down. So we have a lot of conflicts going on, to be quite honest, a lot of disagreements happening in the European Union. And of course, with the video shared today, you can see the position and viewpoint of President Donald Trump. You know, really what is just so interesting, nobody's seeing this video. I mean, I'll go back right now. She now has 2.59 subscribers, and the video has had 7,400 views. It's right here. I can show you. I can put it up. It's the whole video here. All this video. And 7.4K views in 8 hours. I'm sure it will get out more and more, and we'll see. But the reality is, Ukrainians already had it. Make sure you share it, because the world needs to see the truth as we are now on another 14th day. Be blessed, and we'll be back at you soon.